Hi, this is the Business Guy with Lawyers Limited, and I have one of my co-workers, Yonathan Amselem. Yonathan is an attorney. He's an asset protection specialist, licensed in Washington, D.C., and we have him talking with us here today. How you doing, Yanni?
Hello, Business Guy. How's it going?
Good. It's a pleasure. Good to talk with you. Yanni, you actually went to University of Miami Law School many years ago. What brought you up to Washington, D.C. to get your license there?
Well, I got married. That made me move. I moved up to Washington, D.C., got barred here in 2014, and have been doing asset protection in one way or another ever since. And now I'm doing it full time, working alongside the Business Guy.
Now, you have one little one and one on the way.
Correct. Both boys. We actually just found out yesterday. The second one's a boy.
Both boys. Wow. A lot of times when people have two boys, they want to have one more and try to go for that girl or vice versa.
Yeah, I think my wife wants a girl next.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have a long string of Amselems. Working together, I want to ask you your thoughts and what you would do. Tell us an example of a client that you've spoken to that really needed asset protection from lawsuits.
Sure. So one example of a client that I helped was a client getting a divorce. Primarily liquid assets. He had a lot of money in a brokerage account that was titled in his name. He had a lot of money in a separate checking account, also titled in his name. Courts just about everywhere would have viewed these assets as marital assets. There was no divorce petition in the court system. Obviously, once that happens, there's an automatic stay and there's not really much we can do. But as long as we get there early, we were able to structure the client's assets offshore. We created a Nevis LLC, one of the most popular places to establish an LLC. We moved the membership interest of the LLC into a Cook Islands trust with a trustee out there in the Cook Islands, trustees that we have worked with ourselves in this company for over 25 years. He would be the initial manager of the LLC. We then opened a offshore brokerage. We opened a bank account, both for the LLC, and put his liquid assets into those entities. Once everything was established, we had the trustee step in for him as manager, and ultimately the assets were totally sealed up offshore. As you can imagine, he was very happy. If those assets had not been structured this way, if they had just been in his name, they would have been cut in half.
By the way, if you want to talk to Yanni, if you have some asset protection needs, you can go ahead and call us at the number below or visit our website, fill out a free consultation form, ask for Yanni, Y-O-N-I. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, please click the like button so YouTube will promote this video, share this video with others, and you can also click the subscribe button so that when more videos come out like this, you'll be up to date right away. Okay, let's say somebody says, if you owe the money, you should just pay it. I don't think you should protect yourself. You should just walk off to the slaughterhouse if that's what's been sentenced to you. In civil matters, that is.
I mean, the court system in the United States has about 500 different ways to empty your bank account. Suing people, going on the attack in the United States is easy as pie. You can get sued for anything at any time. Whether the person suing you is an honest actor or a dishonest actor, it doesn't matter. The attorneys get paid either way, and your court fees happen either way. I think some people don't quite have a grasp of how expensive a lawsuit is. It might be the most expensive thing that's ever happened to you. It costs you so little to protect if you do it early enough. And even if you have to do it when it's a little bit later in the game, anything is better than just sitting there like a lamb to get slaughtered. You've spent your whole life putting something together. It can be protected for pennies compared to what it'll cost you if you get dragged through the courts with no protection at all.
Now, you talked about setting up international structures, and that is a subject we talk a lot about on this channel. What do you tell a person who says, oh, that's scary out there? It's kind of like before Columbus discovered America, they would draw around the edges of the maps sea monsters that you're going to fall off the edge, and it's just because they hadn't seen it before. What do you tell that person that's kind of blinded to the benefits of international structuring?
You have to keep in mind that people with a lot of assets, they are not afraid of going offshore. Billionaires, multi-millionaires, they don't seem to be afraid of Cayman Islands banks and Swiss banks. So a lot of the rich richest people on the planet don't seem to mind. We offer our clients several different banks to choose from. All the banks are AAA rated, no different from a bank in the United States, apart from the fact that they don't have to respond to a U.S. court order if the bank account is inside of a structure like the ones that we create.
Yeah, as long as it's in the proper legal tool, right?
As long as it's in the proper legal tool, right? Your money is so much safer offshore than it is in any U.S. bank. In a U.S. bank, if you have a creditor, they can just take the money right out of your account.
Yeah, and if somebody had their money in a, quote, U.S. asset protection structure, and the law says that they can't lose the money in that trust or company or whatever it is, the judges always just follow the law right by the book, right? They don't follow results-oriented decisions that they've made up before in their minds, do they? Did I say
yes. I think what people will find is that when it's time to actually stand in front of a judge, judges can pretty much do whatever they want with assets inside the United States. If the local judge in your county does not believe that your Nevada Asset Protection Trust or your fancy trust from South Dakota or whatever is valid there, then whatever money you have inside the US-based account, they can just take out. I mean, a judge is going to have jurisdiction over your U.S. assets. That's the main difference between setting up a domestic structure and setting up an offshore structure.
And I've seen, and every attorney on our staff has seen, results-oriented judges following some rabbit hole theory of legal liability to get the results they want, regardless of what the law says. And there's another saying that I really love, and that is, what is the difference between God and a federal judge? God doesn't think he's a federal judge.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. You know, when you're looking at the laws in even just the state laws or the county laws, they are so complicated and they are so vague that you can pull whatever result you want out of those laws. So you can't rely on anything. You know, if you read something online saying your house is protected or you don't have to worry about this or creditors almost never get that, talk to us first.
And so the key thing is you've seen this work and you're rock solid and you've seen it work over and over and over again in every case that it's been employed.
We stand by our product. The Cook Islands Trust is by far the most effective asset protection tool available to Americans, Europeans, Australians. Maybe not every country is going to recognize these trusts, but for our US-based clients and our European clients, there's nothing better.
And we're talking with attorney Yonathan Amselem, goes by Yoni, Y-O-N-I for short. Yoni, why should we really trust you? Why should we trust attorney Yonathan Amselem to guide us properly into the asset protection world, to structure assets properly, to protect them from losses? Why should we trust you as a person?
It's what I do 24/7. I have hundreds of clients at this point. I've set up these structures hundreds of times. I have a great working relationship with all the offshore parties involved. I have a great working relationship with our registered agent in Nevis, with our trustees in the Cook Islands, our registered agents in multiple other jurisdictions. I have the infrastructure to get this done, which is something that most other law firms can't provide. They'd have to outsource most of these other services. We're a one-stop shop. You come to us and we structure everything from A to Z. We have a banking department. We have a customer service department. So that's why you should use us. And me specifically, I have the experience and we have the resources to get this done quickly and efficiently.
Now, what about the company Lawyers Limited? Why should the people watching trust Lawyers Limited, connect with us?
Clients should work with us because there is nobody larger in the space. We are the largest player in the offshore asset protection space. We have been around for over 115 years. We have been setting up specifically offshore trusts since 1994, but we've been setting up domestic trusts for a very long time. We just have more resources than the typical company that would do this.
Now, what do you say to the person who hears this and says, well, let me think it over, let me talk with my cousin Bobo, let me talk with my taxi driver, and they just kind of wanted to, do a lot of thinking and head scratching? What do you say to that person?
Those are the clients, typically, the think about it clients. Those are the clients that will only call us back once it's too late.
Yeah.
If you're already thinking about asset protection, that means you've got something to protect. Follow that instinct.
Yeah, because time-wise, people have a small window of opportunity to do something about it before the courts either freeze their assets or seize their assets. So taking action now is essential. Another thing is, What about the person who says, well, I'm safe. Nobody's going to sue me. I've been in business for X number of years and I've never been sued. I just don't do dangerous things. I'm just really careful. And besides, I have insurance. I don't need this.
I would say to that person, number one, it's a funny relationship you have with your insurance company. They actually have totally different interests than you. They have conflicting interests. They actually don't want to pay you. We want our structure to work for you, and we want you to talk about how great our structure is. I think the average person goes through, 5 lawsuits in their lifetime? That's the average person, which means that your chances of having 1 lawsuit in your lifetime are very high. Put yourself in the mindset. Imagine right now, you just got a letter in the mail and you've been sued. Go through that panic now before it's actually happened so that it can encourage you to take the step forward and set up a structure, protect what you have. Unless you're a hermit living underneath the ground, I'm sure somebody will find a reason to sue you. Maybe you live underground somewhere on federal land. I don't know. Probably a bad example. But you need to protect your assets. You are not so safe that you're not going to get harassed by a court.
What's your parting shot, Yanni?
One of the most important things you'll ever do in your life is protecting your assets. 100% of people that do it never regret it.
So if you want to speak with Yonathan, you have questions, or you want to protect your assets from lawsuits, give Yanni a call. Give us a call at 954-400-1050 or visit assetprotectionplanners.com or lawyerslimited.com, all the same. And you can go ahead and fill out a free consultation form. Ask for Yanni, Y-O-N-I. Yanni, really good speaking with you. Of course, we speak every day anyway, but I hope the clients who are watching this will give you a call, get more information about protecting their assets, and I appreciate you joining us on this video.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. Appreciate the time, business guy, and yes, please give us a call, ask for me. I will walk you through the process.
All right, thanks for watching. Please click like, subscribe, share this video. This is The Business Guy.